Welcome to the 2018 IRI Annual Conference End of Show Report. This is the show all about innovation. I'm David Spark, reporting for Xinova. At this year's show, we spoke to 24 industry experts, asking them their thoughts on the state of innovation. We collected the highlights to give you a roundup of the top 9 trends in innovation. First up, innovation is no longer a nice to have, it's critical for business survival.
We have to innovate or die. So it's just a business reality.
If you look at the S&P 500 and how long it takes to get to the top and stay on the top, that number continues to go down. By 2027, the average amount of time at the top of the hill on the S&P 500 is only going to be about 12 years. So if you actually want to stay relevant and be a long-standing industry leader, you have to figure out those right ways to innovate.
Don't tread lightly. Saying your company is innovative is not equivalent to actually doing it.
Well, most organizations believe that they need to do innovation, right? And so it's actually not difficult to get senior leaders to say, hey, yeah, we got to go and innovate. But actually putting the money where the mouth is, so to speak, is often difficult.
We hear from the Csuite that they embrace risk, and supposedly 86% of innovative projects should fail because if not, we're not being innovative enough. I don't see that there's always the same sort of, embracing of failure when it comes to performance review time. So I think there's some dialogue there about what are we saying versus how are we actually living it.
People talk about innovation, but how do you actually get the budget, the funding in order to do it for real?
One extremely successful technique to alleviate both the cost and time to innovate is to partner with other innovators.
What they need to do is they need to partner up with a new kind of system that allows them to take hundreds of shots on goal themselves at relatively lower risk by sharing the upside of what they actually succeed at.
The complexity of getting products to market and the speed of which they're trying to get the products to market is decreased. So in order to be more effective and efficient, they're collaborating in greater systems in order to be more efficient to get products out to market.
Partnering with a startup, something like a venture partnership, helps us participate in that market, see the innovation as it comes out early on, but also not do it at a price tag of an acquisition, do it at more of a small investment and still reaping the benefits if that technology plays out.
Utilizing a collective to innovate reduces risk and can protect your business from potential disruption.
Without having resources that are capable, that are connected, that really understand the complexities and can help mitigate the risk early, companies really don't have a good chance of succeeding.
Well, if you move together as a group or move together as a small swarm, it's a little bit like zebras. It's harder to pick out just one target, and that movement as a collective actually provides a little bit of protection for going first, and it makes it harder for second movers to come in.
If you've looked at R&D spending, it used to be about 70% was all private spending to really create the new best thing and the new technologies. Now it's about 40% of the spend. So much of that R&D and innovation is actually taking place outside of your company.
If and when you choose to innovate, it will have to be at a grander scale to keep your business from being disrupted.
If you always innovate to just grow 1 or 2%, you're never going to get that breakthrough innovation that you're really looking for to make a huge dent in the market.
It's very easy for companies to be stuck inside their existing concept of what the product is and stuck inside their existing business model.
So these organizations that have largely been able to just incrementally innovate for a long time are now going to be faced with they have to insource these new technologies or they're going to be disrupted. And they'll be disrupted by newcomers that they've never even heard of and have no eyes on.
You need to move fast and have a heightened awareness level in order to avoid the Innovators Dilemma.
The Innovators Dilemma is when you get blindsided by it, when that disruption happens and you had no idea. And usually those things, they do take years and years and years to happen, so you've just been, keeping your blinders on for way too long.
A lot of companies fail to look laterally at what are those kind of outside things that could suddenly become relevant to them, and by the time they finally spot it, it's too late.
The story we always tell is Boeing losing out on the SpaceX contract to the federal government, right? SpaceX was basically a company that didn't exist like 6 years ago, and they're taking billions of market share away from an established company with deep-seated roots with government contracts. That right there is enough to show you that anyone at any time can be disrupted, and if you're not part of the game, you're going to be a victim of it.
You'll never come up with the next great innovation by just asking customers, what do you want? It requires deeper investigation.
Innovation happens when you can find a latent need that they don't even realize is a problem that's going to happen maybe next year as a result of something else happening.
Instead of asking your customers what do they want or trying to get them to predict the future, customers are horrible at predicting their own future. It's really about how can you measure their behavior that indicates that they want that value that you're offering.
Put more bodies on innovation. That doesn't mean create a larger innovation group, but rather let everyone have an opportunity to innovate.
The challenge that corporations are doing is they believe that there's some set of people that are uniquely qualified to innovate. They set them aside, they give them a big PR budget, and they really make fact that this is a great innovation team. And what they're doing is they're taking away the ability for the rest of the company to innovate and to give permission to innovations. I get really nervous when I see separate innovation teams as a whole, because innovation is rooted in creativity, which is absolutely every person's job coming in the door.
Even if you successfully build a process for innovation, you're still going to have to manage the inevitable tension between R&D and the C-suite.
The main conflict is the same in almost every company, and it's a mismatch between the timelines at which they view the world. Because if you have a C-suite that's focused on this quarter's results, getting their attention on something that's 2 years away from revenue is hard, and what's even harder is getting the right level of funding to build those projects up over time.
And that's it. From the experts at the 2018 IRI Annual Conference and Xinova, those are the top 9 trends in innovation. What do you think? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? What did we leave out? Please leave your comments below. And thanks for watching. Head over to Xinova.com to learn more about how to share the risks of innovation and get more shots on goal.